Hey guys, Dr. Mike Silvestri here from Silvestri Chiropractic and Wellness. Wanted to make a video on some tips on how to boost your immune system. I get a lot of questions on about how to do this, so I'm going to answer those questions in this video. So number one, and I've addressed this in other videos, number one is see your local chiropractor. Why? Because with chiropractic care, we focus on the spine and the nervous system. The nervous system controls everything in the body, every cell, every tissue, and every organ in the human body. And any interference in the nervous system via a spinal misalignment, or what we call a subluxation, will decrease the function of the human body, including the immune system. So when we correct these subluxations, the human body functions at a higher level, including the immune system. So that's number one. Number one, see your local chiropractor. Get your adjustment. Number two, let's talk about some other things. All right, make sure you're getting adequate vitamin D. Okay, so vitamin D, most people are deficient in vitamin D. Why? Because in a lot of times the climate that they're living in doesn't have enough sunlight, okay? Unless you live in Florida and California or these places that are near the equator, typically you're not going to get enough sunlight. Sunlight is the best way to get vitamin D and improve your vitamin D status. However, if you can't do that, like I'm in Pennsylvania right now, so sunlight is not enough sunlight to optimize my vitamin D levels, so I take a vitamin D supplement. All right, that's the next best thing. So what I would say, a lot of people ask me, well, how much should I take? Well, it's going to depend. All right, the first thing I always tell people to do is get a blood test. Okay, if you go to your primary care physician or another physician that's able to do to test your vitamin D levels, typically what you want it at on blood work is around 60 to 100 nanograms per deciliter. Okay, that's the optimal vitamin D level. So the answer to how much should you take is how much is it going to take to get to those levels, and that's going to be dependent on everyone, or rather, it's going to be different for everyone, I should say. Now, as a general rule of thumb, I can kind of make a recommendation on what most people should take. I would say at least 2,000 IU. That's the bare minimum. If you're actually sick, it changes quite a bit. Okay, so you can go up from there if you're actually sick. All right, so 5,000, 10,000 IU at certain times when you really need it. Okay. Again, if you have something like respiratory, like a flu or a cold or something like that, then essentially that's what you should do. So that's number two, vitamin D. Vitamin D is super important, not just for the immune system. Number three, vitamin C. Vitamin C is another extremely important vitamin for the immune system health. How much should you take of this? Well, I always tell people take really as much as you can handle. What do I mean by that? Well, vitamin C is what we call a water-soluble vitamin, okay? So you don't really have to worry as much about toxicity with this, okay? Now, the bare minimum, I would say, is about 1,000 milligrams per day, okay? Now, that's the absolute bare minimum. You could go up from there, okay? So I'm talking about if you want to optimize your immune function, okay? The bare minimum of vitamin C to get per day, if you look it up, I believe it's like 250 milligrams, 500 milligrams, somewhere in there. That's the amount to prevent deficiency, okay? I'm not talking about the amount to prevent deficiency. I'm talking about the amount to optimize your immune function. That's what I'm saying. By the way, same thing with the vitamin D. This is the amount to optimize immune function, not to prevent deficiency, okay? Okay, so we covered vitamin C. Very important point with vitamin C as well. If you get a supplement, try to get what's called a liposomal vitamin C. This means basically that it's absorbed a lot easier, okay? Sometimes it's difficult if you get the very cheap vitamin C to absorb it, okay? So liposomal vitamin C, number 3. Number 4, zinc, all right? Zinc is very important for the immune function. What I recommend, you can actually get zinc lozenges. You can even get these at your local grocery store, to be honest with you. Now, I don't usually recommend many supplements from the grocery store because, one, they're not absorbable, okay? They're not very absorbable, I should say, and they're typically not good quality. However, zinc lozenges from the grocery store are totally fine. If you have access to a higher quality supplement than that of zinc, by all means do that as well. If you're interested, we could always get you one here at Silvestri Chiropractic and Wellness. However, zinc is very important for immune function as well, okay? Now, supplements, okay, are always nice. And I always talk about supplements. Why? Because basically it's very hard to get enough of these nutrients from food in general, okay? Of course, food is always number 1. Diet is always number 1. If you could get these from food, if you could get enough vitamin D from the sun, from the chemical reaction in your skin from the sun, by all means do it. If you can get enough vitamin C from citrus fruits, oranges, lemons, limes, things like that, even like bell peppers, by all means do it. However, I always talk about supplements because essentially it's usually very hard for people to get enough of these essentially in their diet. So again, guys, let's recap, okay? Number 1, getting your spine adjusted, okay? Number 2, vitamin D, supplementation. Number 3, vitamin C, supplementation. And number 4, zinc supplementation. Again, if you're able to get all these from food, by all means do it. Vitamin D, as far as food sources, we're talking about like full-fat dairy products, eggs, things like that. It's not in too many foods, okay? We talk about vitamin C, of course, like we kind of mentioned before, citrus fruits, oranges, lemons, limes, tangerines, things like that are all going to have a pretty high amount of vitamin C in them, even things like bell peppers. Zinc, a good source of zinc is actually oysters. A lot of animal foods have them in there, like beef, chicken, things like that. So those are some good food sources. So again, guys, this is Dr. Mike Silvestri with Silvestri Chiropractic and Wellness in Moon Township, Pennsylvania. If you have any questions on what some other good things are on how to boost your immune system health, just give me a call at 412-302-7526. Essentially, what you can do also is make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Have a fantastic day, stay happy and healthy, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.